Let's talk about the newest drone from DJI, the Mavic Pro Platinum. Excuse me. Hello? DJI released a new drone? And it's coming next week? Well, what are we going to talk about? What's up, everybody? I'm the Everyday Dad. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. This is not the newest drone from DJI. It's not. DJI has gone and done it to me again, where when I was gonna make my Snopa M1 video comparison to the DJI Osmo Mobile, they released a new gimbal. I'm gonna talk about drones, they release a new drone. And it's not gonna be here till next week. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a Q&A. You guys have been asking me for a Q&A for a while. I haven't done an official Q&A in a minute. I can't remember the last time we actually did just a straight up Q&A. So what I did today was I released a note on both the YouTube community pane and on Twitter, just kind of soliciting you guys for questions, you know, things you're curious about the channel, YouTube, me, drones, whatever. Let's go. I'm just super excited because like all I can think about is my new Mavic Air, and it should be here hopefully next week. Here's hoping. So we're gonna break these down into two kind of categories. One is gonna be questions I get all the time, and I'm just gonna kind of like bring them all together. And then another is gonna be these specific questions you guys asked me. So number one, who are my favorite YouTube channels? Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna keep this small. I'm gonna keep this sub 10,000, except for one. Sub 10,000, the ones that I watch the most, because you'd be amazed that once you start making YouTube videos, you have very little time to actually watch YouTube videos. So I'll leave a link to the description of these 4 channels in the description below. Definitely check them out because they're fantastic. Definitely value added. Number 1, Hybrid Shooter. He's a camera guy. He's actually the one that turned me on to the Lumix G9, so definitely check his channel out. He's got a lot of awesome camera tips and tricks, and I just love watching his camera videos. Number 2, Craft Show. These guys are actual filmmakers. Like, they make feature films. They're not just YouTubers talking about YouTube cameras. They shoot on both Reds and the GH5. Their channel is full of awesome tips and information, kind of like a peek behind the curtain of commercial and feature films. Definitely check them out. Number 3, Technically Speaking. As a Buckeye, I always like watching other Buckeyes succeed, and that channel's 2 guys talking about tech. Definitely check it out. Always like to support other Buckeyes. They're definitely great, and they really like gimbals, and so how bad? If you like gimbals, you're definitely okay in my book. And then the bonus one, he's a little bit over 10,000, but he's been really helping me kind of behind the scenes very recently, so definitely check him out. It's 51 Drones. He has a whole bunch of tips on the Mavic Pro. So, like I said, definitely check him out. Those are my favorite YouTubers. You guys are always asking me that. Number 2, main question. What is my process for making videos? So, if you've watched my how to make a YouTube video, don't watch that anymore, because that is not how I make YouTube videos at all anymore. I've progressed in a different way in the last 6 months. So basically what I do is I play with a camera, I test out a drone, and then I'll write a script about the thoughts of the video I want to make. I then use that script to create a broad shot list. I don't do specific shot lists. I did that a couple times. It took hours, and it didn't really make anything easier or better. So I write a script, do the shot list, and then I like to film this part first, then I do B-roll over top of it, and we just have a good time. And so I find a lot of questions I get are, how do I make a YouTube video? What's your process? What's all this? It's not that I'm withholding from you guys. It's just that it's such a personal question. So my recommendation is, if you want to start making YouTube videos, or you have a channel, you want to make YouTube videos better, go out there and find YouTubers that you really like. Watch their videos. I'm not saying steal their ideas, but watch how they do things and see if there's a way that you can incorporate that into your videos. Read books on filmmaking. The best book that I can recommend to you is How to Shoot Video That Doesn't Suck. I'll leave a link to that below too, because that book has really opened my mind on how you can make videos that don't suck, hence the name. Where do I get music for my videos? So there's 2 places I go to get music for my videos. I use YouTube's audio library, which you can just find in your YouTube Creator Studio, or I now pay a monthly subscription to a company called Epidemic Sound. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just like being able to pay a small monthly fee, and I just have access to their huge library of music. And their music's way better than the YouTube music. It's all Muzak, it's all elevator stuff if you're not paying somebody to specifically make a song for you, but it's pretty good. Now let's get into these specific questions. First up, questions on the YouTube channel. Mac Warfare, what advice would you give to a 15-year-old who just hit 1K subs? Congratulations. On YouTube and is growing by an average of 10 to 20 subs a day, but has just entered year 11 and has to do exams this year. This is definitely not me. LMAO. Well, Mac Warfare, I would just say keep doing what you're doing. You obviously have some measure of success. Just keep executing well. Like, that's most of the thing about YouTube is you just gotta be consistent. Here's a philosophy of mine that I live to every day. Perfect is the enemy of good. You don't necessarily need to meet perfection to be effective. So if you have a good product like your videos, if you're hitting 1,000 subscribers, you're doing something right. Just keep doing that. If your studies are more important than your YouTube channel, focus on your studies and the rest will come. 51 drones, hey, I was just talking about you. Here's a personal one for myself. What is the biggest challenge in being a YouTuber as well as a family man? Are you full-time YouTube or do you have an additional job? If the latter, how do you find time to put out 4 a week? Okay, so that's a lot of questions in one. Basically, the answer to all of these questions is the same thing. I carve out time for the family, I carve out time for my work. No, I don't do this full time. YouTube is something that I do in my own time, which means when I could be sleeping, I'm making videos. So family man, I always make sure my family comes first. They're very important to me. The everyday wife, the everyday kid, they're, you know, my number one priorities in life. So I make sure I'm taking care of them first, then I'll sleep, I guess, when I'm dead. I do have an additional job. I work 60 to 70 hours a week sometimes. So if there are videos where my eyes are a little baggy, it's just because I don't sleep very much anymore. 4 videos a week. I have, one of them's a live stream, which is almost no effort. I just plug in everything and have a good time with the community. I have a template where I do reviewing the cheapest, comparing tech videos, and then Drone Flight Friday. It's a lot harder to do Drone Flight Friday now that it's the winter and the days are short. It should be a lot easier here shortly. Land skate. How old are you? I am 34 years old. Gonna be 35 this year. Time, man. Time. David Wadlow edits. Do I like scooters? I guess. I mean, I ride motorcycles. I'm a big fan of motorcycles. I've always wanted a scooter though, like 100 miles to the gallon. I can get behind that. Valdemar Svensson. Hope I said that right. Will you get a Mavic Air? If you will buy it, compared to the Spark and Maverick Pro Platinum. I pre-ordered a Mavic Air while the guy was telling me about the Mavic Air. I am very excited about it. I really hope it ships this Sunday so I can start talking about it next week because it could be the drone that I've been waiting for all along. Like seriously, I'm very impressed by it. And I'll absolutely do a comparison video between the Platinum, the Spark, and the Air. Maybe not all at once because I don't like really long videos. I like doing smaller videos because I don't like watching 30-minute videos. I don't expect you to like watching 30-minute videos because ain't nobody got time for that. Laylo Racer 1, could you please go a little bit in detail about drone laws and ways to fly safely? Thank you. The main thing is if you're in the US, just go to the FAA website and make sure you're following all the policies and procedures there. If you have a DJI drone, generally they'll tell you where you can and can't fly. Just before you go fly somewhere, check the FAA website. They've got an app called Before You Fly. I'll leave like a picture right here. You know, be safe. Don't fly over people. Just, yeah, like I said, go to their website. You can see all the rules because we all fly under Part 107 now, even if you're a hobbyist. So you got to follow the Part 107 rules, whether you're making money or not, unless you're flying for a model air club. Alan Delos Reyes, yo, visit Chicago for meet and greet. Never been to Chicago. I'd love to come someday. Maybe we'll see. Donovan Bullet XP, what camera did you start with when you had a couple of subscribers? Thanks for the question, Donovan. So my first videos were made on my wife's 5-year-old DSLR with the Nikon D5100. And when I got sick of that, I started using my cell phone. I did all of that for about like 4 months. Then I got a Panasonic Lumix G9, which is still probably the best beginner's camera you're gonna find. It's dirt cheap, does 4K. It's a great camera. Landscape, what inspired you to make YouTube videos? Well, I've been watching YouTube for like 10 years now. I've always been a huge fan of YouTube. I don't know, one day I was watching YouTube videos and said, you know what, I can do that. And then I made a YouTube video about a children's first aid kit. I don't know, I just decided to do it. Landscape, you asked a lot of questions. What do you think is the best affordable vlog/YouTube camera? Your cell phone. If you don't have a camera, if you, either a Panasonic Lumix G9, if you need 4K, like if you need a bigger, you know, Micro Four Thirds instead of your camera, but your camera is a fantastic starting point. Like I've got a video here of a $75 fully functional YouTube studio. Cell phones will get you 80% of the way there. There's no need to spend the money on big cameras. I get the irony there. Ty Witt, why did you start YouTube? I talked about that. One day you know, I'm not an expert. So 2016 was a year where I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and start doing stuff. I ran my first half marathon, did my first triathlons, ran a half Ironman. I'd never done that before. And so I was watching YouTube videos. I was like, you know what? I can do this. And you know what? Everybody else can do this too. So I'm gonna show them that a average person can do all this stuff, and I'm gonna share that with you guys. So that's why I started a YouTube channel. Tin Man, what do I do for a living? I am not in technology. I have some videos talking about what I do for a living. I try to keep the two like as separate as possible. So yeah. Hassan, which smartphone do you use as a daily driver? I currently use an iPhone 7 Plus as my daily driver. It's the red one because I broke my regular one, and that's the one they sent me. Leaf J, any hidden talent? I think I can wiggle my ears. Can you see that? Yeah, I can wiggle my ears. James R Vlogs, are you full-time on YouTube? No, I'm not full-time on YouTube. Dominic Splendorio. Dominic Splendorio. I hope I said that right. Do you think the Mavic Air will make the Spark obsolete? Maybe. Depends on what DJI does with the Spark. If the DJI makes like the Fly More combo like $400, I would say the Spark has a solid place because it's a fantastic drone. The Mavic Air is a weird piece of technology for me and I don't have one yet, but it seems like it takes all the things that I really like about the Spark and all the things that I really like about the Mavic and combine them into like a perfect drone. So I'm very excited about it. The Real Ejolo, are you gonna let Bluey, I just call him Boy Blue, Spark down for the Mavic Air? And you're a very good YouTuber. Thanks. I don't know yet. I'm probably going to keep Blue around because, so like I said earlier, I started a YouTube channel. I'd been running for about, like 5 months when they released the DJI Spark. And I was watching that live event too. And that live event basically changed the course of my life. So DJI, I doubt you're watching, but if you're watching, thanks. Because like, that's the videos about the Spark I did are what really made my channel take off. So I'm probably going to keep Blue just to be like, hey, that's what you and me, Blue, we did this together. That's all the YouTube questions. Now on to the Twitter questions. Thomas Garris, I would like to see firmware update videos. Some of us don't have DJI products. I know, Thomas, I know. I keep meaning to do firmware update videos, but every time they do a firmware update, I forget to update my firmware until like right before I'm getting ready to fly. I was doing those, and I need to start doing them again because you're right, they are very informative. Not a question, but I appreciate the suggestion. Bill Utah! What were your 3 biggest challenges with the channel in the past year? Keeping it up, finding time to do it, and not getting down. So making YouTube videos, not an easy thing, whether it's time, energy, resources, all that stuff. But I almost gave up on the YouTube channel, legitimately. I almost gave up. Channel was doing this. We talked about this in a video not too long ago. Channel was doing like this, like going down. And I was like, man, why am I doing this? So much effort, and like the channel's shrinking and dying. But you just gotta keep going. Like you can't like let it get you down. You just gotta keep working. That was the hardest thing. Finding time to do it all, like I said, the bags under my eyes will attest. Sleep is what's getting me now. And how much time do you spend on the channel per week? Per video, I'd probably say each video takes about an hour to film, takes 2 hours to edit, and probably takes an hour for prep. So it probably takes about 4 to 5 hours per video. I do 3 real videos a week, so 15 plus prep time. Probably about 20, 25 hours a week to get out 4 videos. And those are like 5-10 minute videos each. I'm telling you, making videos is tough. What are the 3 biggest features that I would want on my ideal drone? Actual obstacle avoidance, excellent active tracking, and being quiet. If you can do those 3 things, that's all that I want. Mitchell Anthony, what's the goal for your YouTube channel this year? My goal for this year is to hit 50,000 subscribers. We talked about in the live stream after I hit 10,000. We're going for 50K this year. That is the goal. We're going to keep grinding videos. We're going to keep talking about awesome tech. We're going to keep interacting with all of you wonderful people. We're going to get 50,000 this year. So the channel currently right now is growing at a pace that won't meet that, but I'm hoping that we'll pick up some more momentum going on this year and we'll be able to hit that. David Brown, what is your opinion on a first drone for someone who does not do a ton of traveling, but wants a somewhat compact drone with good video quality and flight time? Until I have the Mavic Air, I can't really judge that, but if the Mavic Air didn't exist, I would say a Mavic Pro refurbished. You can get one for like $799. That's a fantastic deal. That would be what I would recommend. Will I still be recommending that next week after I've played around with the Mavic Air? I don't know. DB, I like what Bill Utah asked. And will you swap out the Spark and Mavic Pro for the Mavic Air? I will probably sell the Mavic Pro Platinum. I really like what the Mavic Air features, and if all the features work very well, I will have no reason to have a Mavic Pro. So I'll probably sell the Mavic Pro. Like I said, I'm keeping the Spark. Jeff Michael, what's your thoughts on GoPro Saga, and do you think they will survive? I think GoPro has a great product. I think GoPro has carved a niche in the marketplace. I think there's interest there, and I think there's a market for their product. That product is action cameras. It's not drones. Maybe in the future it will be 360 cameras, but it's not that today. I think GoPro will survive. I think they'll end up selling themselves to somebody, and somebody will be like, hey, they make awesome action cameras. Let's just keep doing that. There's no need to be this huge media company. That's not doing them any good. They need to focus on what got them where they're at, and I think they'll be all right. We call action cameras that look like a GoPro clone. There's a reason for that. Well, hey everybody, thanks for all the questions. We may do this one again in the future. I'm so excited for the Mavic Air to come. That's definitely probably what we will be talking about all next week, if it ships on Sunday. Well, hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And you can always ask me questions or anything on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. I try to answer everybody. As the channel gets bigger, it is getting harder, but I do my best. And you're probably already subscribed if you made it to this point. But if you haven't clicked that bell notification icon, go ahead and click it. Well, hey, I'm the Everyday Dad. And if I can figure out how to answer your questions, you can't figure it out because that's why you asked the question. But I can figure out how to answer. Thanks for watching.